So, what's going on today? Today, we're laying down the rest of the deck boards. We're gonna trim those off. What I like to do is after I install my deck boards, I like to take a chalk line, snap it down so I have one continuous edge line. And it's just easier to do that after the deck board has been laid down, instead of trying to match each one with variants and cuts on a sawhorse. Then once we get all the deck boards laid and they're trimmed out, the next step would be to start putting together a storage shed, which I've never put this one together before. Hopefully there's clear and concise instructions, and it goes without a hitch. But today I'm hoping to install that and get some production done. I haven't been able to get a lot of work done lately due to inclement weather. It's just been real muddy out here. The ground has just been too terribly wet. The wood has been too wet, so I've had to give it around like 4 days for everything to dry off before I can finish. Working with wet wood is kind of working with wet wood makes it really difficult because the wood changes dimensionally, like not really along its length, but definitely its width and thickness can change ever so slightly. And since we want consistent deck board spacing, make it look uniform, and hopefully they all shrink at the same rate, leaving the same gap throughout. Kind of want the wood not to be as wet as it is. Hey, I'm filming here. What are they doing? So, yeah, trim some deck boards, lay deck boards first and foremost. Finish laying these deck boards, get them mounted down, trim it off, and get started on erecting this storage shed. Should be fun. See what happens. So, I thought I'd show you a neat little trick. We have an instance where a gap in the middle of my decking is too wide in the middle, and I want to tighten it up because I've got my spacers on either end and there's still a bow. So in order to pull that bow in, we're going to use some cut off wood and a hammer to make a quick lever to help pull it in tight. Watch this. The problem is that the wood has a bow to it, and it might be hard to see in this shot, but what we're going to do is I've already pre-drilled and inserted my my fastener here. I took a piece of scrap 2x6 I had laying around, and I anchored it across the joists. Now I'm going to use my hammer as a fulcrum to help pull in the gap, and I don't know if you can see it right here. You should, but as it walks in. So I'm just pulling it in just enough. This really comes in handy for bigger bows. I ran into one earlier, but I didn't film it, so I figured I'd film it on this little incy-dincy one. So I'm gonna pull it in tight. Hit it with my impact. Fasten it down. Boom. Nice even seam. And so, normally how we get rid of seams that are bigger than usual, we start on one end and work our way down. The unavoidable thing is wood is not perfectly straight. And some boards, they go on without hitch and it looks good. And some just need a little bit of assistance. So I'm starting from one end, working my way to the other, pulling in tight, but I'm also using my shims to set the gap. And so, yeah, hope that tip worked out for you. Well, deck's trimmed out. The wind is picking up, so maybe we'll be building a shed, maybe we won't, but I gotta feed my son because he's probably hungry. Wanna say hi to the camera? Wanna say hi? Gonna be my helper? So got the helper today. It's cool. Normally we keep him inside, but Mama's gonna be helping us today too, so that'll be fun. Gonna make it a whole family affair to put together a storage shed. Which now, you know, this project has now taken substantially longer than it was supposed to, due to weather, scheduling, and biggest thing is weather, you know. But we're gonna attempt to get it done today, and well, this is our story, so hopefully this is the final day. Oh yeah, before I forget, had to go out and buy a new tool today. I thought I had a belt sander, turns out I don't own one, but the good thing is that Lowe's has a Craftsman model belt sanders right now. They're only like 50 bucks, so why not? So I went out and bought one this morning. So I'd figure that'd be a quick and easy solution. So I'm gonna use that to clean up the edges on the deck itself.
you doing? Gonna go grab the camera and see the baby sleeping. It's so weird videoing things. You can get that part out, right?
So I got my squad back together. I'm not building by myself anymore. Nothing.
So we're out here again, another day. I don't know what day it is anymore that we've been working on this project, but it's several days too many. So gonna finish mounting down the roof. We're gonna hang some doors, and we're gonna completely fasten this thing down to the deck. I only have 4 screws in there right now, and I got to pull those out so that I can get to the back side of this deck. I got to pull it out. Got to pull the shed forward so I can fasten down the roof on the back side and do the vents and everything. It's just too tight to get the ladder behind the shed and the fence to do that work, so we're gonna try and do it the easy way. Let's see here. So hopefully we're looking at no more than an hour's worth of work. We're also going to tighten down all the fasteners, all the nuts and bolts and everything that haven't been tightened down before, so we're going to go through, make sure everything's squared away. So this is the last day. You can see the shed's already taking shape. So look at that. So there's supposed to be a piece that tells you who the manufacturer is. It's manufactured by Arrow. It's supposed to go up there, right at the very top, right there. But can't figure out how the piece fits. It looks kind of funky, so I'm not putting it on. If you don't like it, then oh well. I'm gonna give a review on what I think about this thing at the end of the build. But for its name, though, which is supposed to be the easy, it's not very easy. In fact, we had a lot of difficulties. But enough about that. Let's get to building. Let's finish this thing up. So here it is. The shed is finished. It's finally done. It's completed. It was definitely an arduous tasking. The shed wasn't easy to build. It says it in its name, but it's not. I have a couple of takeaways from this. This is the first. Although this is the first metal structure that I put up, metal shed, I should say, non-permanent structure. I think it should have gone up a lot quicker than it did. This particular product, the instructions were unclear. I think they could have done a better job at the directions. I'm a design engineer. I've done manufacturing design. I've written assemblies for customers, and it just could have been done better. The details weren't clear. The instructions weren't clear. It would have been nice if maybe there was a note in there, enlarged details on in some of the areas where parts mate and align. I had a problem with the orientation of a part as it mates to another part. So there are a lot of times after I fastened something together that I had to pull it back apart and then put it back together. And then in one case, especially this header panel, I pulled this header off like 3 or 4 times. Not too happy about that. But It's, and I have to blame the instructions. Another problem I have is with the seams. The panel seams. They don't mate as they're intended to mate. Maybe I got a bad batch of panels. I doubt I was doing it wrong, because I watched their instructional video on how to put this together, and I followed the lackluster instructions. Another thing is, this is a $400 shed from Lowe's. They offered a $200 installation and setup. I would have gladly have paid $200 because it took me 3 days to assemble this.